Hello students, my name is Maurice Abelman. This is Digital Art 1 and this is project number 3 in the Create Your Own Country comprehensive digital campaign. For this project we will be developing your national emblems for your country. Project number 2, we focused on individual symbols for your country. But for the national emblem, we'll be combining multiple symbols into one coherent emblem for your country. So like other projects, this is the creative brief for your project number 3. The overall project objective, you will be creating a national emblem for your country. And a national emblem is the official symbol that represents your country. National emblems consist of multiple symbols that come together into one unified image. The parts of an emblem that comprise the image have various meanings and can represent aspects of that country, things like military strength, economic systems, governments, religions. Your objective for this project is to create a national emblem for your country that integrates a minimum of 4 different symbols into an emblem along with the creation of an official motto for your country that you will integrate into the emblem also. So like other projects, you can see the grading scale for this project. Part 1, the thinking aspect is 20% of your grade. Part 2, the looking aspect is 20%. Part 3, the actual creation, the doing part is 50%. And then part 4 is 10% of your grade. The main objectives and the learning outcomes for this project is to design a national emblem for your country that incorporates 4 symbols into the design and a motto for your country also. Students will learn how to use and conceptualize multiple illustrations, each with inherent meaning, and then combine them into a unifying symbol while integrating a typographic element, which is your motto, into the design. Number 3, students will learn how to sketch and trace basic concepts in order to create physical forms that they can alter and render in order to create their national emblem. Number 4, students will learn how to use the design process in order to outline a project, conduct research in order to make informed design choices, and create the elements of art and design needed to form the composition for their visual solution to your objective. So part 1 of your project, the beginnings of this project, you will create your, number 1, you'll create your country's emblem. For this phase of the project, you will choose the elements that make up your country's emblem. You will begin by defining the parts of your country that you want to emphasize, things like the economy, the government, military, its moral stance if it has one, etc., etc. You don't have to necessarily use these suggestions. These are just examples that you want to highlight, things about your country. You will use your physical sketchbook. You will sketch these out. I want you to sketch 2 to 3 quick symbols of each of these aspects that you have chosen for your country. You must include these sketches with this part of the assignment whenever you turn them in. So you'll write about the design or the symbols that you want to create, and then after you write about them, you'll include the sketches that you make of them. It's important to make the sketches because you can possibly use these sketches whenever you bring them into Illustrator in order to trace. So the second part of part 1, once you have some basic sketches for the aspects of your country that you want to emphasize, you can start to find ways to combine them together. Think about a common symbol that can unify all others. Example, for the United States, the national emblem shows a bald eagle holding arrows and an olive branch. In this part of the project, I want you to bring the sketches you have made together and start to put them together in a symbol that makes sense within the composition. You can sketch out a couple of these examples also and include them whenever you turn in this aspect of the project. And then finally, the last part, the third part of part 1, I want you to create a national motto. So once you've created some of your sketches for your emblem, you are to create the national motto for your country. And then I want you to integrate it into your sketches. An example of a national motto for the United States is E pluribus unum, or out of the many one. Then you can see the technical details, they haven't changed since the last couple of projects. I still want you to use 12-point font whenever you actually write about the aspects of your emblem. And then I want you to include all the images into a PDF document, all of the images for your sketches. So the second part is the research and analysis aspect. In order to develop a better understanding of the characteristics that represent your national emblem, I want you to research the national emblem and motto of the country you wrote about in Project 1 and 2 that relates to your family's heritage. This isn't, I kind of reduced the steps to this project down to just one step. Basically, I want you to write a 1 to 2 page summary of the national emblem and motto that represented the country of your heritage. And I want you to write the different meanings for the different symbols that are represented within that actual emblem itself. And same thing here, I want you to submit a copy or an image or photo of the actual emblem that you're writing about and include it with your writing for an example so I can see. Like projects 1 and 2, part 3 of project 3, you will be creating the actual emblem. This is the doing phase. Now that you've thought about your country's national emblem and you've done some research into the country that you've been researching all semester and looked at their emblem, I want you to actually start the phase where you actually take your sketches that you made and then bring them into Illustrator and then digitally create them. And so like the previous projects, there are 2 phases or to the part 3 of this project. You will start with an exercise on how to actually make an emblem. And you will use the skills that you've learned in the exercise in order to actually create your own emblem. This is pretty much what we've done in the past here, so you should be familiar with what we've done. And these are the technical details. They haven't changed, so I've just kind of left them up here whenever you submit this part of your project. And then finally, the last part of your project is the critique, the self-critique. It's the same thing as part 1 or project 1 and project 2. I want you to create a journal entry and I want you to talk about your project and the different phases and how they influenced you to reach your final solution for this project. And like I said, nothing has changed about this page. You should be familiar with it. So make sure to submit this to Blackboard for full credit on your assignment. So now that I've explained the actual project, you can go ahead and start your project number 3 and then get that into me. Check Blackboard for further instructions.